Last week, Leagues 4 dropped, and I think I lasted around an hour before I had fully burnt out and decided to just hop back to the main game. But I decided to take advantage of this time to finally grind out my Voidwaker, which I had been putting off for so long. For those that don't know, I had actually fully completed the Wilderness, including all pets, all uniques, everything, Dagon High, Eternal Glory, Rev Weapons. And then Jagex decided to update the Wilderness and bring out 6 new bosses. Now, technically, there's only 3 new bosses, but there's a singles and multi-variants with new and improved drop tables, including several uniques, which are brand new. So those are the 3 upgrades to the Rev Weapons that give increased damage and special attacks. And also the Voidwaker pieces. So each of the 3 bosses, Venenatis, Vedion, and Callisto, and their single variants, they all drop a Voidwaker piece to finally complete the Voidwaker. And to be honest, the Voidwaker I really just wanted, but I wasn't really willing to grind it out several months back. But now was the time. So the Voidwaker's fucking busted for those that don't know. It has a special attack which guarantees a hit. It is magic based and it rolls, I believe, between a 50% and 150% of your max hit, which is just unbelievable. So it's really good and it's going to help at a lot of places. So the first boss I decided to go to was RTO, which is the single variant of Callisto, and it was a pretty chill grind. You use a crossbow, and I didn't have my Web Weaver bow yet, but I really wanted to get the Ursine Mace before I started Venenatis, because Venenatis gives the upgrade to the crossbow to make it the Web Weaver, but, you know, it was kind of like a tough decision. Now, these aren't the huge upgrades, they just slightly upgrade your weapon, so it really wasn't that big of a deal, but I decided to get the Claws of Callisto, which give me the better mace, because the mace is actually used at Vedion and Venenatis. So I went to RTO and basically I spooned the hell out of it because it is a 1 in 912 for the Voidwaker hilt, and I was able to pull that at a juicy 210 KC. And then after that, I was like, this grind is going to be so piss easy that it only took me a day to get, and I was like pretty casual with it, so I was like, okay, this is going to be a really nice grind. I'll probably finish it by tomorrow if I just grind it out. So for the next several days, I was grinding around 14 to 15 hours, and I had actually like a blast. It was the first time in a while where I just became absolutely addicted. Like many of you that are playing Leagues 4, it's that same addiction. Like it feels like you have this limited time because the Wilderness was so dead and I only had died like a few times to PKers. Like it just felt like this was a special time to grind this out, and you know, it was limited, so I had to like stay up. I had to caffeinate myself. I had to like lose sleep over this grind because, you know, those late American hours where you just need to be out in the Wilderness because there's literally nobody. Like there was, I think, 2 separate times where I had fully 6-hour logged at the multi-variants. I'm talking Vedion being in one world for 6 straight hours. Like I got the message that I was going to log out in 30 minutes and I continued. Like that is amazing. You don't experience that much, but Leagues was able to offer that to me. So that was really, really nice. I did get unlucky on the last 2 bosses though. Venenatis has great drops. By the way, like all of these 3 bosses have amazing drops. They did update their tables. They have very similar tables to what they previously were, but they're just like updated quantities and just some nicer things as well that are a little bit more updated. So Venenatis, significant drops, like obviously red spider eggs, which I am in no short supply of. I have literally 150,000 red spider eggs, mainly because of Sarachnis, as you guys know. It also drops a bunch of noted herbs. Actually, all the bosses drop noted herbs, which is nice, but also increased quantities of blood runes and death runes, gold ore, 150 onyx bolt drop it. That used to be 60, I believe, before the update. So that was really nice. I only ended up killing about 20 spindle because I just realized the rates are so drastically different for the Voidwaker piece. So on all the single variants, it's 1 in 912, but the multi is 1 in 360. So it's very much worth it, especially if you have the rev weapons. It's very much worth your time to just go to the multi variants, just suffer. I mean, if you die, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it kind of is a big deal. I had previously grinded LMS, so I had a bunch of LMS points to buy Trover parchments for my Infernal Cape and my Defender. So when I died, that was kind of obnoxious having to rebuy stuff. But I also spent some of my LMS points on blighted restores and blighted anglers to just make the grind a little bit nicer. It doesn't feel like I'm using supplies, and I could just camp piety. So that was really nice. The Venenatis grind itself is a really, really chill experience as long as there's no PKers, because it is pretty AFK. Just here and there, like every other phase on Venenatis, you'll have to like either chin or just get rid of those too many spiders that spawn, and then on the opposite, you'll have to just run to the corner, like run to the side, just so that web just is out of your way, because that web will drain your run and drain your prayer. So that was... It was a chill experience. Vedion, I think it's just because of the sheer quantity of Vedion I did go about 3 times. It was over 3x rate for the Voidwaker piece, which is just absurd. I had killed about 270, 280 of Calvarion, which I realized was just not worth my time. So I went to Vedion and went over 1,200 KC for it, and I was expecting in my head, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just spoon this, I'll get it in like 200 KC, you know. No, that never fucking happens. And I was actually saying this on the Sebe cast with Hamzy and Wide Juicy, like there is this feeling that you get, and just like let me know down in the comments if you experience this, is like you feel like you are just never going to get the drop. I think it happens around like 1.7, 1.8x rate, where you like that luck that you think you might get just vanishes, and you just know you're in for the long haul. That's literally how I felt with Vedion. And Vedion, the actual fight itself is pretty click intensive. You're constantly, I mean, just every single 6 or 5 ticks, depending on the phase, have to dodge lightning, and it's really not that difficult. The problem is I'm on a 2200 world to avoid PKers, which means that the ping is dog shit, the worlds are laggy because of leagues, and it was just kind of annoying having to constantly be aware. But I did make it easy on myself. I didn't decide to 1-tick flick or anything. I just camping piety, so it wasn't bad. I think it was really just the sheer quantity of going dry that ended up having that boss become a nuisance. But I will say, the drop table was absolutely disgusting at Vedion. I mean, it drops Sand Fuse, which I am now absolutely in no short supply of. I have almost 2,000 4-dose Sand Fuse in my bank now. Drops 150 Dragon Bones, which is updated from 100. It drops the Renar we drop, 100 Renars, Gold Ore, you know, Death, Blood Runes, and the best drop, in my opinion, are the Mortmire Fungus. It is just disgusting. Getting 450 Mortmire Fungus, like, oh my god, it is so nice. I believe you can only obtain around 2,400 Mortmire an hour, like being super, super efficient. So, I mean, and it's just like a really boring grind. You're not gaining any XP. It's not that bad because you get such a high amount per hour compared, like relative to other secondary gathering. But it is really nice just kind of having that seen as 0 time. So I did end up getting 8 Dragon Pickaxes, 9 Dragon 2Hs, 8 Skulls, and 3 Rings of the God, and a duplicate motherfucking pet before I got the Voidwaker Blade. But it was worth it because looking at the loot now, like it's just like that really is going to help out in the future, like future grinds and stuff. So yeah, I ended up finally getting that, which is really, really cool. There were a few encounters with PKers. I ended up kind of understanding the cave system. When you exit these multi-variants, you are running throughout the cave, and you kind of like spawn in randomly, and then there's like 3 exits, I believe. I believe there's a rope, and then there's an eastern exit, and then a southern exit. The problem is the southern exit, yes, you're getting closer to the 30 line, so you can teleport out. But generally speaking, if you're in that multi-cave, there are going to be like there's going to be a PKer waiting south just to TB you. So like you're thinking you're going to be able to make it out, and then a TBer gets you with like a fucking 2.5 minute or something, and then you're basically doomed. So I actually started liking the eastern exit, which leads you out to the singles line. You're about, I think, 4 ticks away from hitting that singles line every time. And as long as you make it there, you're pretty safe. And one of the best parts as well about that eastern exit is that you're in that multi-cave and everything's hitting everybody. There's these little poison spiders, these fucking bears and shit. Like, you're just getting annihilated, so you're just constantly praying mage. But the thing is, when you enter the singles line and then the PKer exits with you, there is this, you know, kind of like a PJ timer where there is a very high success rate of being able to log out before that PKer can even hit you. So several times, if you can make it out to that exit, you will be safe. So that was nice. Also, there was a few experiences where some PKers recognize my name and just pretty much let me have a free pass. So that is streamer/YouTuber favoritism. I love it. Thank you guys. And anyway, yeah, really enjoyable grind. Now that the Voidwaker is fully complete, I can use it at a bunch of places and not feel like a total noob not having it. Now I need to be grinding my Torva plate body finally, because I'm still rocking that goddamn BCP, which just looks just horrendous. And I also need to get my Masori body, but I am actually pretty damn motivated now. Using the Voidwaker at TOA is incredibly nice, and also at Next. This weapon will make those grinds feel a little bit more enjoyable and more fun. And, you know, just hitting consistently is something that's so important in OSRS. With the release of Osmumten's Fang, I think like the community as a whole, at least the higher level community, the people that are PVMing a lot, understand that not hitting zeros is just a great mechanic. So anyway, yeah, really enjoyed this grind. I'm glad I'm out, you know, just going dry kind of sucked, but I understood in the moment that because I'm grinding 15-hour days, like clearly I'm enjoying myself. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy myself. So I saw it as enjoying the journey, not the destination, and I had a great time doing it. If you guys have any questions or anything about that grind, maybe I can help offer some advice. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace out, guys.